Feel free to use the raised hand function, and we will get to you. And also, for those in the room, please raise your hand, and we will get a microphone to you. Please wait for the microphone. We'll start with opening statement from Coach Westmore.
Yeah, I mean, again, first of all, you got to tip your hat to Vermont. I knew they were going to come in here. They were hot. They won 9 of their last 10, 16 of their last 18. They got great interior play. They got great guard play. So I knew it was going to be a challenge, got to, again, they played great. Hanson coming in off the bench, scoring 21, hitting, 5 out of 8 threes. I think she was 3 for 3 in the first half. But just, the balance, obviously their post players hurt us some inside, but I thought we really picked it up defensively in the second half, holding them to 13 points in the third and 9 in the fourth. So I thought our energy and our effort was a lot better in the second half. And, on a day where we didn't shoot well, again, give Vermont credit for that defensively, but we had a rough shooting day, and that's when you got to defend and rebound. So proud of, I think we went and got 18 offensive rebounds. So that's something definitely we've been stressing, and hopefully we can build on that.
Thank you, Coach. Our student athletes here are Sanaya Rivers and Zoe Brooks. Any questions for those two, please raise your hand in the room, and we will get a microphone to you. Over here to your left.
Daniel Wilson, InsidePackSports.com. This is for either player. When the Catamounts were making their run at the tail end of the first quarter and the start of the second quarter, what did you see from y'all's end that allowed them to get on that run, and how did you adjust to counter that?
Zoe, you started off, please.
They came out hitting shots. They came out aggressive, moving the ball very well. Teams are going to have that run, in the tournament. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's going to play well, and I think that we adjusted pretty well in the second half.
Yeah, when the team scores 16 points in the first quarter, it's an automatic red flag for us. We knew that we had to turn around immediately, or else they were going to run us out of there. And I think, like Zoe said, we had a phenomenal second half, and that we were fortunate enough to get the win. So,
another question over here on the left.
Brian Pearl, Pack Pride on 24/7 Sports. Like Coach said, offensive rebounding played a pivotal role in y'all securing the win today. 7 different players secured at least 1 offensive rebound for y'all's team, including 5 different players with multiple rebounds. Just what does that speak to the team effort it takes to be able to win on the offensive glass?
Sanaya, start us, please.
I think we run enough in practice. Coach Moore says if you don't crash the boards, then you're either going to run, you're not going to play. I know me personally, I got subbed out first half because I wasn't crashing the boards. So it just shows that he has high standards for us. He expects us to crash the board because he knows that we can. We're longer. We're aggressive when we go in there. So if we go in there, he just hopes it'll fall into our hands. So even if we just have one going back and 4 crashing, his hopes is that somebody gets hit. And just to see that we have multiple players down there crashing the O boards, it just shows that we can, and we just have to keep continuing to do so.
Zoe?
She hit it on the spot.
Of course.
That's the way to defer, just like a guard. Yes, stay here on the left.
Connor Vandermark, technician. Sanaya, now that y'all are in the round of 32, Monday will officially be your last game at Reynolds Coliseum. Can you just speak on your time at NC State and what it's meant to you?
Okay. I said it before the game. This will not be our last game at Reynolds. Our last game is going to be on Monday because I wasn't ready to be done yet. So Monday, the last one, it's bittersweet. I've had a great 3 years here. If I could have another one, I definitely would. I'm surrounded by great family, great fans, great teammates, great coaches, and I'm blessed that they gave me a second opportunity to come here. Coach Moore always makes the joke that I should have came here the first time, but anyway, I'm here now, so I'm thankful and blessed that he allowed me to be a part of the program, and
It's not me. It's Coach Nikki that when you pass the first time, Coach Nikki she don't believe in going back.
Oh, she don't.
I had to make that happen.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
More questions from the room, and again, if you're on Zoom and you have a question, please use the raise hand function. Go back to Brian over here.
I wanted to ask you all about a couple of the freshmen that were making some big plays today. First of all, Devin Quigley, especially in the second half, was making some really pivotal plays to help you all secure this win. Just your overall impressions on how she played today.
Sanaya?
Yeah, definitely proud of Devin. Obviously, she's a freshman, so she's not getting all the minutes in the world. But when her numbers call, she's ready. She comes in, grabs. She averages like 1 rebound a game, probably on the O board. So just proud that she came in ready. Looks like she hit some free throws and hit a couple shots. So we're just proud of her and just being ready to step up when her numbers call.
You know, Devin's a Jersey girl, so I expect that from her. No, but she's a great, rebounding guard, and I'm very proud of all the progress that she's made this year.
And then following up on that. There we go. Following up on that, Lorena Wu also made some big plays in the post, came in and was able not only got some second chance points like we were saying earlier, but got some defensive stops against Vermont's bigs. Just how pivotal was she and be able to secure the win today?
Zoe, you can start.
Lorena has came a long way, too. A lot of progress. I think when she comes in off the bench, she definitely helps us a lot, rebounding and getting putbacks and just her energy.
Sanaya?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy that she still has 3 years left. She's strong as Knox, and she hasn't even scratched the surface yet. So I'm just excited for her. Obviously, she came in, gave us great minutes on offense and defense, and we're just hoping that she continues to do that the rest of the tournament.
More questions from the room? Anybody?
Come on, give us something. You don't want no more? Okay, sorry.
I've got one for both of you. Start with you, Sanaya. The scrap plays that you guys were able to put together in the second quarter and the third quarter, a lot of them were made by Madison Hayes. The value of Madison in this game, and particularly some of the plays that she was able to make.
Definitely. Madison is a big piece for us. I think I was asked a couple of weeks ago who's a player that I feel like deserves a little more attention, a little more credit, and I said Madison Hayes for sure. Obviously, she gets the attention here at NC State, but just as far as, nationwide, I feel like she definitely deserves a little more credit. She is big minutes for us, hitting big-time shots, diving on the floor, getting offensive boards. Obviously, she's playing out of position for us this year, guarding the 4 players, sometimes even the 5, but it just shows her character that she's going to do whatever she can to help contribute to wins, and she's done a phenomenal job this year, and I just hope as well she continues to do that the rest of the tournament.
Zoe?
People like to call her the glue, and I agree. I don't think we would be the team that we are today without her. Like Sanaya said, she'll hit an open 3. She'll get some offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. She can get stops on defense, so we definitely wouldn't be where we are without her.
Over here to the left.
This can be for either of y'all. Coach talked a lot at the beginning of the season about how Tilda was kind of thrown into the fire and how she has all the talent in the world, but it seemed to be almost a confidence issue, how she didn't like to play in the post a whole lot. But in this game, and especially in the ACC tournament, she seemed to be a lot more comfortable in the paint. Can you just speak on her development as, her teammate?
Zoe, you can go first or defer again.
Okay. Yeah, her confidence definitely has came a lot. She's definitely more comfortable now. Like you said, maybe she doesn't like playing the post as much because she's a great outside shooter. She can hit the 3. You don't see that very often, a 6'6" girl that can hit threes, but she's definitely came a long way, and I'm very proud of her.
She hit it on the head. I'm still
Any more questions in the room? If not, Zoe, Sanaya, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck,
You hit it on the head.
Questions in the room for Coach Moore? Over here to the left.
Guys, you utilized full court pressure as the game progressed along. How did you assess the effectiveness of that?
Of the press?
Yes.
Yeah, again, just trying to show them a little bit different look, try to speed the game up a little bit because they were comfortable, obviously, and, we haven't been really a pressing team, but we just felt like it'd be good to throw it out there. I don't know that we really got a whole lot out of it. They did a great job of handling it, but, they were shooting, what are they, 8? Was it 8 for 19 from 3? So, again, try to do something to change kind of their being so comfortable and knocking down shots.
Brian?
Coach, I want to ask you
Hold it in the middle.
and in the middle.
There you
There
go.
we go. Yep. Circling back to those freshmen, first of all, talking about Devin, one of those 5 players with multiple offensive boards, making some plays in the second half. How important was she in coming up and stepping big when her name was called?
Yeah, I just really after the ACC tournament, just trying to evaluate where we were, and I just felt like she probably deserved to get some minutes, and so we had planned on getting her in there some, and then just presented the opportunity. She does a great job, as we mentioned, getting to the offensive boards. She's got the length to defend. She can really shoot the ball. So she can give us a spark off the bench. And, you know, we got so many veteran guards, it's hard sometimes to pull them off the court. But, you know, we got to do that, especially if we need to send a message. You know, if somebody's not going to the board, somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do defensively. Like I said, just feel like we need to have a little bit of accountability, and Devin's done a good job when we've called on her.
And then talking about the offense in the glass, whether it's Devin or Lorena came up big with some second chance points. When Vermont's making all those threes, how big is it to be able to come up with those second chance points and knock them up empty possessions?
There's no doubt. We're 4 for 20 from 3 today and struggled. Struggled to shoot from the field even some. But, when you can get those extra possessions, and that's something after the ACC tournament, we came back and said, we're going to commit a little bit more to offensive boards. You got to decide how many you want to send. It's going to affect your transition D, obviously, if you got people going crashing. But we just felt like we needed a spark there. And a day like today, when you're really struggling shooting the ball, that can make all the difference in the world. So, I got to say Madison Hayes also had 12 boards, her and Sanaya. So both of them together, 2 veterans, did a great job of going and getting us extra possessions.
One more, Brian? Yeah, go ahead.
You just touched on it, but with Madison Hayes, Vermont playing 2 bigs in there. How big is she playing out of position and still getting those 12 boards?
Yeah, again, that was the tough part, and we knew coming in it was going to be a tough matchup. They've got 2 true post players down there, and we kind of are going with 4 guards. We actually put Sanaya down there some just because of her length, and thought maybe she could maybe make it tough for them to get the feed in there. But yeah, when you're outsized like that, you got to play really hard, and I thought Madison did that and gave us, again, especially second half, I thought everybody really stepped it up, and we had a little more pressure and got in the passing lanes and things like that.
Question over here to the right, Peter.
Peter Katrumpis, Triangle Sports Network. Wes, I think you called it yesterday talking about the early scout player coming off the bench on their side. 40% shooter. Hanson today coming off the bench for UVM, 21 points.
Yeah.
I think that's a season high. She created problems for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
How tough was that to help your players understand what they need to do? And bottom line is execution, but it looked like it was quite the challenge today.
Yeah. Again, sometimes it's hard to get the point across, I guess. But we knew she was shooting 44% from 3 coming in. So, she's a great shooter coming in off the bench, somebody that's going to give them some energy, give them a lift, and you got to try to stick with her. And, we were supposed to be getting overall pick on the ball, but a couple of times we got caught going under. A couple of times maybe we helped a little bit. You can't help off somebody like that. So, again, we subbed a time or 2 because of it, just, again, trying to have accountability, but no doubt, she's a great player, and we definitely knew coming in we needed to try to slow her down. We just didn't quite get it done.
Right here to the left.
Coach, Vermont had 33 points at halftime. You've been preaching defense all season. What'd you tell your team in the locker room? Because after that, they ended up scoring just 22 combined in the second half.
Yeah, I said we wouldn't be having dinner tonight if we didn't, step it up. No, again, we just talked about, we knew they were, we knew they could score the ball, and we knew we had to, apply more pressure, get up to them. Again, sometimes it's got to happen to you for you to believe things, and even though we've watched a lot of film, we didn't quite have the urgency, or we weren't locked in enough when things happen, and it's tough. Obviously we go over their plays. They ran a little play where Hanson goes down to the block, and then she's coming back up off a down pick, and we're screaming over there, but it's pretty loud in this place, so we didn't quite get the communication part through. But you just can't relax. You got to stay on edge when you're playing somebody that can score the ball. And the thing is, you let them get happy. We talk about that. Don't let them get happy. They get happy, they get confident. Now you're in trouble.
Isaiah James shot just 4 of 15 from the field. What is it like to have a scorer like Zoe Brooks who can come up and fill in that scoring option? I believe she had 2 and 1 layups in that third quarter that y'all kind of rallied behind to go on the run.
Yeah, I thought especially early in the game, Zoe was keeping us in it. I mean, we didn't have anybody else hitting shots really, and we weren't creating like we needed to, and again, we were settling for threes, and there comes a point where you got to recognize, you know what, this isn't working right now. I need to get to the foul line, get to the rim, be the aggressor. And but I thought Zoe did a great job of picking up the scoring slack in the first half and really carried us.
More questions in the room? If not, Coach, thanks for your time.
All right, thank y'all.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man.